Hey everyone. So we are going to talk about who creates single mothers. All right. So I see we already have a troll here. Sorry I'm late to the party. I was dealing with some technical difficulties, but hey troll. Hey. So Jerome Whiteside, even though he was in my DMs trying to holler at me, is now telling me that single mothers are to be avoided at all costs. Not that I'm a single mother. I am actually no type of mother. But it's really interesting how these trolls operate. They be all in your DMs, trying to talk to you, trying to spit game at you, trying to holler. But when they don't succeed, they sit and troll your page and they troll your channel and they troll your social media content. But anyway, whatever. We know how these trolls do. But anyway, let's talk about single mothers and who creates single mothers. So I'm going to feature a post that I thought was extremely relevant for this video and this video topic. This post is this right here. So it's a tweet, and the tweet says, "People having so much smoke for single mothers is a true testament to how people hate women so much because there is absolutely no reason to chastise the parent that stayed." Now, we all know that patriarchy, sexism, and misogyny exist, right? But it really comes out. Yes, it exists in a systemic institutional way, but patriarchy really comes out through the behaviors and attitudes of individual men. Okay, so now you're telling me that it is somehow appropriate to blame the parent that is taking the load of both the mother and the father. Now, I had this conversation on a little drama comment thread on another YouTube channel, on another YouTube video. And there was this man, and unfortunately, he was a Black man, and he was arguing with me tooth and nail, trying to tell me that it's the woman's fault to be a single mother. But I'm like, how is it the woman's fault when the woman is doing the job and staying and being both the mother and the father? Oh, well, these women should just pick better men. So you're going to blame the woman for picking a bad man and not blame the man for being a bad person? You're not going to blame the man for walking away from his own flesh and blood? Really? Is this what we've come to? Men are such horrible people that we just don't even hold them accountable to their horrible decisions and their horrible actions? Really? Or is it that you just hate women so much that you're just going to blame them for what a man does? You're going to blame them for a man not stepping up to the plate, right? This is what we've come to. Okay. All right. So hey, Melanie Hazelton. Hey, girl. Sad but true. Yeah, girl. I don't know what that troll is talking about. All I know is he was in my DMs trying to talk to me. But anyway, another tweet I want to show and share with you all is this one. So this is a man. Actually, this is a man. And he is saying child support should come with therapy for the fathers. I've seen many a men act like their baby mother is their mortal enemy over $86 a week. Now, how dusty and worthless can a man be to be upset over spending $86 a week for their own flesh and blood, for their legacy, for the DNA, for their own DNA that has been manifested in another human being? Now, how dusty and worthless and pitiful and pathetic does a person have to be mad over $86 a week when that's your own flesh and blood? Okay. All right. Now, there's another tweet I'd like to share with you guys. Now, this is my favorite one because it's beyond me how people can blame the person that's staying with children to do the job of parenting. Wouldn't it make sense to blame the person that walked up and left their own flesh and blood? Wouldn't that make sense? But you're going to blame the parent that stayed? All right, now, here's another tweet that I think speaks volumes to the topic and is extremely relevant. So Simone B says, men, I'm not going to use that word, men got 3 plus baby mamas, never even attempted to marry any of them, but on Twitter talking about homosexuality destroying the Black family structure. No, fool. You destroyed 3 Black family structures on your own with no help from homosexuals. Absolutely. Like, listen now. Listen. It's amazing how these men escape accountability at all costs. Like they will do the worst, the grimiest things. They will do the worst things. One of the worst things you can do is walk away from your child. One of the worst things you can do is leave a helpless, poor child defenseless by walking away from it, right? If you have a child, you know very well that child depends on you. You know very well if you walk away from that child's chance to survive in this world is decreased substantially. So that is one of the most cruel and evil things a person can do. Yet these men will walk away from their own children, not take care of their own children, and then blame the mother for staying and doing the job of both mother and father. Please, somebody make it make sense. You know, a lot of these men, you know, run around talking about, oh, the Black community, that is this, that, and the third, you know, is being destroyed by this, it's being destroyed by that. But look at what they're doing. They are destroying their own legacies. They are destroying themselves by walking away from their children. So let us deprogram ourselves. Let us reprogram ourselves and understand exactly who creates single mothers. Single mothers don't create single mothers. The men who leave their children, the men who abandon their poor, helpless children, the men who walk away from their own flesh and blood create single mothers. Women don't create single mothers. The men who walk away from their own children create single mothers. So, you know, this video isn't going to be long. I just really want to get this point across that anytime you see someone shaming single mothers or talking down about single mothers or saying anything bad about single mothers, you make sure you remind that person that single mothers do not exist if there were not men who walk away from their own flesh and blood, if there were not men who abandon their poor, helpless, defenseless children, if there were not evil scumbag men who do this. There is no such thing as a single mother without a man who walks away. Under certain circumstances, yes, there are men who die, blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking about those men. I'm talking about the men who will turn their back on their own flesh and blood, okay? So, I'm just going to close this video out by saying, women, understand that men are predatory in nature. Men hunt women. Men approach women with an agenda, and that agenda is usually to use you and to get your goods that are between your legs, okay? Now, if you know this, understand it would help tremendously if you had your own agenda. And I suggest that agenda be to secure stability and security, whether that be financially, materially, physically, emotionally, stability regarding your network and your connections, job, career, whatever. Do not, because of all of this, right? Like I've shown you 3 tweets that demonstrate the hate that single mothers get, the shame that single mothers get, the stigma that single mothers have to deal with because a man walked away on his own kids, right? Even though she stayed and she's doing the job of both mother and father, right? So you see this, you see the odds are stacked against you. You see that misogyny, patriarchy, and sexism make it harder for you as a woman. Now, as a woman, my advice is, if you don't already have children, do not have a man's child if that man has not improved your standard of living and your quality of life and has provided you with some type of stability. I mean money in the bank. I mean tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you don't have a cushion to support yourself, a cushion that will create stability and security for you, do not have a man's child. And we can even, take even more preemptive steps to securing your own selves and making sure you're protected. Because guess what? In a patriarchal society, no one is thinking about your protection as a woman. People are thinking about exploiting you, taking advantage of you, appropriating your labor to make their own lives better. But no one's actually thinking about you and what's best for you and what's in your best interest. Okay? So you have to do that work. So number one, don't have a man's child if he's not providing you with any type of stability. And that means marriage, a legal binding contract, no prenups. Don't you dare have a man's children if you do not have a legal binding contract and stability. Because when you have a man's child, you risk your life. When women give birth, that's the closest they come to death. Plenty of women still die during childbirth. Plenty of women still die during pregnancy complications. Plenty of women still die from postpartum depression. A lot of women commit suicide. Understand, pregnancy is not a walk in the park and it's not a game. Giving birth to another human being is not something that you should take lightly. So make sure you are set up. Make sure you are set. Never have a man's child unless you are set up. A man shouldn't even get any type of intimacy from a woman unless that man has improved the quality of that woman's life. Because this is how risky this all is, right? I say this over and over again in my videos. Dealing with men is risky. Why deal with men? Why take on that risk if there is no reward? If there is no upside? Why do that? Now, if you already have children, don't tell these men you're dating that you have children. I said it in my last video. A lot of men will date women simply to get access to her children because they are pedophiles and they are sick. You understand? If you Google boyfriend molests, assaults, girlfriend's children, if you just Google that, you will see a bunch of records, a bunch of cases, a bunch of information on men that have done this. Okay, there are men out here who simply prey on women who have children. So don't tell them that you have children. And don't let it happen again. Don't have more children without securing yourself first. And only deal with men who are interested in securing you. Only deal with men who are interested in improving your quality of life. Because it is not a game out here. Men will prey on you, they will hunt you, and they will exploit you and take advantage of you. This is their goal. This is what they aim to do. So you have to protect yourself. I am not a single mother. I've just seen some horrible things on the internet about single mothers. And I want to make this video in order to help and give you some game. Like this, for example, you can see this comment right here. We have a troll, a man saying that single mothers are to be avoided at all costs. But my response to that is men who don't provide you with security and men who do not improve your quality of life should be avoided at all costs. Okay? All right. Now, I am finished. I don't have anything else to say. I hope you please share this video with any women who are out here just getting preyed on and getting hoodwinked and bamboozled by men and their empty words, right? They'll say they love you. They say they'll be there for you. And then as soon as you have that baby, they're gone. Please share this video. Please. All right? Now, thank you, Melanie Hazelton, for being here. Thank you. And I will talk to you lovely people there. All right.